Hey, mind truth tellers, how are you guys doing? Welcome to Unapologetic Real Talk. Making sure that I get this mic together because last time I kept pushing on it and I in the head and broke it and had to order another one. So, guys, happy, blessed Sunday. Hope you all are doing great today. Yes, indeed, my truth tellers, which I'm not going to get too many in here, but guys say don't worry about it at all because, like I say, when it comes to our people, man, our people love their ears to be tickled. They love to be distracted, but somebody got to tell it. So I say, Lord, here am I, use me. So as you can see right here in this topic right here, what we're going to go ahead and talk about, we're going to talk about the last days, which, I've been talking about it for so long, which this right here is a distraction, and like I said, when it comes to a lot of this stuff that, the ones that's really behind the scene, the puppet masters, and that's Hollywood and politics. They use Hollywood and politics to go ahead and try to get the sheeps to the slaughterhouse. So when are people going to wake up, guys? When are we going to wake up? So before I continue, guys, let me go ahead and read the copyright disclaimer, make sure that I get all that out the way. Copyright disclaimer is under Section 107 of the Copyright Act. 1976 allowances made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. So again, guys, make sure you go ahead and hit like, comment, and share these videos for more unapologetic content. And if you feel led by the Spirit, you are not obligated. Go ahead and cash out Real Talk Real Talk 985, Real Talk 985. It's not obligated, but if you feel like you want to go ahead and do it, you are welcome to do it. Okay. So, right here, guys, we're going to go ahead and get into the bottom of it because, like I said, I see the bigger picture of all this stuff that is going on. And the one thing about when it comes to our people, and I'm talking to my people, okay, my melanated people. We love our ears to be tickled. We love drama. We love gossip, and they're gonna give us exactly what we like, And I know you guys don't want to hear it, but this is where our people are. Some of our people, I've been saying it for a long, long time now. People are quoting the same scriptures, are quoting exactly what I am saying. That our people, which I need to go ahead and put it on a t-shirt. I'm gonna go ahead and get that patent, okay? Because I see a lot of people is running with it when I say some of our people would rather sit on a soapbox than go outside and touch grass, because like I said, we still have that stinking mindset until we shake off of these grave clothes and come out of her. And whether, believe it or not, lo and behold, I asked the Most High God, I say, give me a scripture, of what I am talking about today, because when you put the word on it, like I said, that is sealed. Which, when I'm talking about the word, I'm not talking about a written word. I'm talking about the word that's inside of me, okay? And I truly believe that God has used me for such a time like this to rightfully divide the word of truth. And one thing that we know is that when you strike the head, then the sheep's going to scatter. So let me say it again. When you strike the head, the sheep's going to scatter. They know exactly when they want to go ahead and get something done, they go after the head. They go after the big fish. And we're going to go ahead and talk about all that right there, which, as you can see, where I said that you are going to need in this last stage, you have to make sure that your oil is full, okay? Because we are going into some dark days, okay? So he that have an ear, let him hear what the Spirit of the Lord is saying. Magic Momo, yes, that's a new name. Magic Momo says, blessing, happy Sunday. So how are you guys doing? Again, guys, welcome to Real Talk with your girl, Lady D. And like I said, whether that's two or three, God is in the midst of it all. And before I get into my message, I'm going into Mark 14 and 50. Like I said, when you strike the head, then the sheep's going to go ahead and scatter. They going to desert. They going to desert you. They going to run. Okay. So like I said, nothing is new under the sun. All this stuff, even though, you might look at it, when you open up your Bible, they talking about pre-ancient stories. No, the Bible is for Bible prophecies. So we talking about stuff that is here right now. So let me go ahead and do a mic check, guys. Making sure that I do a mic check, making sure that everything is clear. But before I get into all this, I want to go ahead and share this with you so I can go ahead and close some of the tabs. I saw where they are trying to mess with my girl, Janet Jackson. And oh my God, I am a diehard. I mean, I grew up on Janet Jackson, man. I thought I was Janet Jackson. Like I said, back in the days, honey, your girl had it going on, okay? She had it going on. But let me go ahead and see if I can go ahead and pull this up where they are now trying to go after my girl Janet Jackson. No, you better leave my girl Janet Jackson alone. Like I said, not all of us is jumping on the bandwagon, okay? Like I said, you don't force us to do anything. We have a mind of our own. And that's the thing about it. When it comes to us, it's like if you don't go with the massive, jump on the bandwagon, then they want to go ahead and call you out. I mean, now they want to call my girl out. Yes. I'm gonna talk about this one on the share room, but I saw the one that was on the Daily News. Let me see if I can. I think it's called the Daily News. Let me see if I can pull that up. If not, I just go ahead and read the one on the shared room. But I did see one on the Daily News. I think that's what they call that article, the Daily News. Well, I'm not gonna pull it up because I don't feel like going into all this. Yeah, they was trying to talk about my girl Janet Jackson, honey. You better leave my Janet Jackson alone. But let me go ahead and read this one right here because I need to go ahead and close some of these tabs. But this one is coming from the shed room where they say that Janet Jackson trends after mentioning Kamala Harrison race in recent interviews. She is not black. That's what I heard. She's Indian. So, like I said, it she only repeating of what she heard. So you cannot sit there and say, oh, I'm going to go ahead and I want to cancel or I want to call Janet Jackson out. No, you can't cancel and you can't call her out because she is the queen. Okay, back then, like I say, that's when music was music. I don't know what you call this today. Okay, I don't know what you call it today. But yes, they saying also it says, I was trying to find the one on Daily News. I really liked it, that one. Let me see if I can pull that up. I think it's called let me see. If not, I just read that one right here. So guys, welcome to Unapologetic Real Talk. In here we are grown. We ain't got time for our ears to be tickled. So I was trying to find the one. Let me see. If not, I'm gonna just read that one. But I liked it, the one that I saw on the Daily. Now watch when I get off, I'm gonna be able to find it. I think it was the Daily. I think this. Let me see. If not, I'm gonna just read that one right there. Well, I can't find it. I'm not gonna look for it. But yes, let me go ahead and read this where it says, "Well, you know what they supposedly said she's not black. That's what I heard, and they're gonna take out little bits and pieces, and they're gonna go ahead and run with that. That's what I heard. That she's Indian. Her father's white." Which I think her father's Jamaican, which Jamaican is not a race, okay, and we need to go ahead and educate ourselves on that as well. That's what I was told. I mean, I haven't watched the news in a few days. I was told they discovered her father is white, okay, and also it says in which I'm not going to read all that. I want to see the read the one where the Daily News. But yeah, so now this right here is gone viral talking about Janet Jackson, of what she said about Kamala Harrison. But like I said, it's already out there, how, if you don't sit there and interact into the black community and only when it's time to pander, then people going to go ahead and call you out. So I found that very interesting for people now. They want to go ahead and call Janet Jackson out. Make it make sense, guys. Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and get out that so I can go ahead and close some of the tabs. So hey, my girl, thank you very much. My girl, country girl. Yes, country girl, Queena. Yes, thank you very much. I mean, had opened up my Cash App this morning and I say, oh my God, I forgot to sit there and thank my sister. Sorry about that. I apologize. I had saw it late. Thank you for, I mean, just the beautiful flower that you sent me. I mean, it was beautiful. So thank you, my mod country girl. She says, happy Speak Over Yourself Sunday, unapologetic real talk and truth tellers. Yes, I see Vika. Yes, Vika Travels is in the house. Yes, we talk about our village boy, Mawa, which I'm gonna go ahead and talk about that as well another day. And also, I see, yes, yes. So, guys, again, welcome to Real Talk with your girl, Lady D, unapologetic and nine buys. So, let me go ahead and load some of the music, and I'm gonna go into a scripture. I want to read a scripture. I think it's coming out of Matthew's 26. Okay, and read whatever Bible that you want to read, because, like I say, in the last days, the word is in you. Okay, so he that have an ear, let him hear what the Spirit of the Lord is saying. And also, like I said, all this right here is Bible prophecies. So if you sitting there saying, "Oh, they're talking about them people. Oh, it's not about us." No, ain't nobody said there when trouble comes, and you know good and well they love to sit there and they love to put our foot to the fire. And the minute when they put our foot to the fire, we scatter, we run, because they know that all they have to do is instoke fear in us. And once they instoke fear in us, then we run it. So this right here, this scripture, guys, out of let me see if I can go ahead and pull it up. This right here, I mean, it's just going to fit right in. So let me pull this up in the book of Matthews. Read whatever Bible that you want to go ahead and read, okay? And that's real talk. And that's another story by itself, because like I said, he that have an ear, let him hear, okay? But I want to go ahead and read. When I saw this scripture right here, I say this fits in exactly of what I am talking about, because we already know the minute when we see that one of our silly sheets, one of our brothers, they fall, the rest of them, they just gonna scatter. They're not gonna be nowhere around. And sometimes you need those type of people. Trouble comes because you want to know how to separate the sheep from the goats, the wheat from the tare. You're gonna know them. Because some people, they'll sit there and say, just like Peter did, "Oh, I'll go all the way with you." But we already know, even John sat there and said the same thing. But these people didn't even want to sit there and live for God. They denied him, just like he said. So I want to go ahead and I want to talk about this right here. It's coming out of Matthew's 26, which the meat is in 50, verse 50. But I want to go ahead and go all the way to the beginning, because, like I said, this right here is going to fit. Like I say, people are fair weather people. You're going to know when you have some good people, because when you are in the fire, they're going to be right there in the fire with you. They're not going to sit there and say, "Oh, okay, long as they eating and drinking and partying, everything is good." Oh, they're around. They're around. And now all of a sudden, when everything is, the heat, is raising, and everything is just, chaos, then you're going to know who your real friends are. And now they sitting there saying, "Oh, this person was at P Diddy party, that person was at P Diddy party." But where are they? They all hiding. They all hide it. And that's the way that our people do. Until it's loyalty, it's no loyalty in our black community, no loyalty. And that's why they know when they can work overtime on us. But I want to go ahead and read this right here, because I promise you guys, this is going to fit right in how they fled. And this is coming. Read whatever Bible that you are reading, because I'm talking about a living Bible, and the living Bible is in us. Okay, so right here in I think I'm in Matthew's 26. I'm just going to go ahead and start from the beginning, because this right here is good. So right here it says, "When Jesus had finished saying these things, he told his disciples, 'You know that the Passover comes in 2 days. That's when the Son of Man will be betrayed and handed over for his crucifixion.'" And I remember when it was, I had the picture in the back. I used it as my background when it came to Jay-Z and P. Diddy and all the rest of the guys. They all came together, had a feast at the table, black excellent. Everybody, they were all in it, because, the vision that they had, especially when it comes to, black excellent and pouring back into the black community. People, they liked it, that, it sounded good, so they was all game. But sometimes When you talk about something like that, you can't share it with the world. You can't share certain things with the world. You have to move in silence, because even our own people will sit there and turn on you. I remember it was Marcus Garvey. Yes, Marcus Garvey. Marcus Garvey had a vision. He came down to America, and he had purchased, I don't know if he purchased or he rented or whatever it was, he had a ship. And he also went and purchased a printing company, because you're going to need a printing company, because who can tell your story better than you? So he knew that white media was not going to tell the story the way that, you know, it was told. They're going to sit there and pencil whip everything. That's why I say, when it comes to the Bible, we have to know how to rightfully divide the word of truth, because if you don't know how to rightfully divide the word of truth, then, like I said, you're going to bite off a lie. That's why it says that the word of God is hidden to those that are lost. So let me go ahead and continue with what I'm saying. But they even had people, his own people, when I'm talking about Marcus Garvey, to come inside and try to sabotage the whole plans that he had going on. The CIA, where I had read, and I'm gonna find all that stuff, because like I said, the rabbit hole goes very, very deep. How they used his own people to tear him down, because he had his own printing company. He wanted to get his people out what we call the state of Babylon, and his own people sat there and tore him down. So, like I said, we can blame Dottie Squad and anybody, but what about the man in the mirror? What about the ones that's in your camp? What about the ones that you break bread with? He that have an ear, let him hear what the Spirit of the Lord is saying. The ones that's inside would do the most damage. The ones that's inside would do the most damage. So let's go ahead and continue reading some more, okay? So when Jesus had finished saying these things, he told his disciple, the Passover coming 2 days. That's when the Son of Man will be betrayed and handed over for crucifixion. At that very moment, the party of the high priests and religious leaders was meeting in the chambers of the chief priest named Caiaphas, conspiring to seize Jesus about stilt and unalive him. They agreed that it would not be done during a Passover week. We don't want a riot on our hands, they said. So let me go ahead and break it down, because like I said, the word is only hidden to those that are lost. And I can break the word down where even a child can understand. Now, notice there was plot and how to bring down Jesus, okay? And what happened was, they knew it had to be a certain time to do it, So right here, it says they agreed that it should not be doing a Passover. So what I'm trying to tell you guys, like I say, this is my story. We got pastors, that can take a same scripture and tell it thousands of different ways each and every day. We had the disciples that walked with Jesus, but they all told a different story, even though it related to the same person. So what I'm saying right here, that most of all this stuff that you are seeing right now, and I'm talking to my spiritual people that have an ear to hear what the Spirit of the Lord is saying. Most of this stuff is happening right now because it's election time. Okay. If it wasn't election time, I promise you, you wouldn't even have heard of all the stuff that we are hearing right now. Why now? Because they know that if they put a high celebrity inside of the mix of all this, because like I say, they are pawns. Hollywood and politics, entertainers and politics have sold themselves out, so they will use a high profile person, and no better time than this to have P. Diddy the center attention to distract us from all the stuff that is going on. Oh, I know that you don't want to hear it, but God say, tell it to them anyhow, because they are some stiff-necked people. So let me go ahead and read this again, because like I said, honey, we are talking about our people right now. We are not talking about no pre-ancient stories. They are the ones that put themselves in. But we already know when it comes to the book of Revelation, what is going to be ready for them. We already know what's going to happen to them from sitting there putting themselves in something that was belongs to God's chosen people. Okay, but we already know who the God's chosen people is. Okay, so let me read this verse again. At this very morning, the party of high priests and religious leaders, politics, all it is politics. Okay, this is politics. So when you see a high priest, I'm not talking about what you the world's telling you today, what these high priests today. I'm talking about religious folks. I'm talking about uh politics. I'm talking about people that sitting there plotting on you overtime, working overtime on you. So in the chamber behind secret doors, the chief priest named Cyrus comparing to seize Jesus by stealth to unalive him. So I'm here to tell you right now, when it comes to Sean Combs, Diddy, whatever you are, they call you, I just hate to say it. But this right here is real talk, because God already has sent his messenger to pump your brakes. Come out of her. Leave these people alone. No way in the world that you can mimic something that you know they already got the blueprint, like a Hugh Hefner. All of us wants to carry on, especially when we make a certain status come like into millions. We lose our mind. What we want? We want white women with blonde hair, which is the curse that Hugh Hefner had put upon his people. If you want to succeed, follow his pattern, get white women with blonde hair and blue eyes, and then you can sit there and you can have whatever you want. You can sit on top of the hills. Don't you know, when it came to Hugh Hefner, they celebrated him as a prophet, a prophet. And we're going to break all that down. Maybe not today. That's why I said there and say, guys, a lot of stuff that you've seen today is a lot of distraction. So let's go ahead and read some more, because I know I'm not going to get a lot of people, but God say, tell it to them anyhow. Okay. So at this very moment, the party of the high priest conspired to seize Jesus by stealth and to unalive him. They agree that it should not be done during Passover week. We don't want a ride on the hand, they said. So they all agree when all this stuff is going to happen, okay? And no better time for this to happen during the election time. So let's go ahead and read 6 and 9. Like I said, read whatever Bible that you want to read, okay? Because like I said, the word is only hidden to those that are lost. He that have an ear, let him hear what the Spirit of the Lord is saying. So when Jesus at Bethany, a guest of Simon the leper, a woman came up to him as he was eating dinner and anointing him with a bottle of very expensive perfume. So notice right there, a Samaritan woman, a woman that they had looked down on, a woman that most likely she was a prostitute. Like I say, not everybody's bad, but you have to be careful who come into your camp, okay? But she went ahead and she anointed him with some very expensive perfume, gave him some gifts. Okay, so like I said, when the disciples saw what was happening, they was furious. Now his own people, they didn't want to do it, but soon when they saw somebody from the outside decide that they wanted to cater and pamper Jesus, because the disciples, they was like leeches, anything that they can get their hands on, they would sit there and try to suck him up dry. And notice the disciples, like I say, they was the ones had went ahead and portrayed them anyway. So quite obvious they was no good. Now you trying to tell Jesus that what this woman is doing, she's this is criminal, because she can take this expensive perfume and go and sell it to the poor. So let's go ahead and read it some more. Now you trying to tell them, but yet she is anointing the chosen one. Okay. Now anybody would say, then say, let her go ahead, because this is our chosen one. This is our Messiah. Okay. So right there, when the disciples saw what was happening, they was furious. That's criminal. This could have been sold for a lot and the money handed out to the poor. So they weren't about, what she was doing, that was criminal, she just wasting expensive perfume, she could have went ahead and sold it to the poor, so now all of a sudden they weren't about the poor, okay? All of a sudden they weren't about the poor. Some of you guys, without me breaking it down, you understand exactly what I'm talking about. So let's go ahead and continue with 10 and 13. And when Jesus realized that was going on, he intervened. Why are you giving this woman a hard time? She has just done something wonderfully significant for me. You will have the poor with you every day for the rest of your lives, but not me. So Jesus went ahead and he rebuked them. You are so concerned of what this woman has done for me, but the poor gonna always be here. But I'm not gonna always be here. You see, that's why we got to be careful. We got to be careful when it comes to our money. Some of us, we are not good stewards when it comes to our money. We thinking, that everything is going to last forever. No, not everything is going to last forever. There's a time and a season for everything. You cannot go out there like the prodigal son and spurge your money with the world and thinking that everything going to last. Yes, long as you partying, long as you have the good time, people going to be right there with you. So that's what Jesus was sitting there telling them. Why are you worrying about what this woman is doing to me? Because the poor gonna always be the poor. So right there, when she poured this perfume on my body, when she really did, what she was really doing was she was anointing me for my burial. So right there, he was telling you that his time is almost over with. So I'm here to tell you what the prophetess is saying to you right now. P Diddy, even not just P Diddy, those that's coming up and getting all these millions of dollars and they losing a daggone mind. Nothing is new under the season, under the sun. What P Diddy is going through, somebody else went through. And before that went through and gonna continue going through until you wake the hell up out. Until you wake the hell up and come out of what I call this state of Lodabar. Because like I said, the devil and his plans has never changed. He's still doing the same thing over and over and over. And our silly sheeps are still falling for it. I don't see when it comes to P. Diddy, I don't see him coming out of this. But I'm going to tell you exactly because I know God can open any door, just like he did it for Silas and Paul, how he had an earthquake and the earthquake sat there and shook the jail cells and chains and everything started falling. You can't tell me what God can't do, okay? So let me go ahead and continue reading this right here. And I'm going to tell you exactly how the Most High God had put it in my spirit. That's why I sit there and say, we are in here, not to sit there and put our foot on anyone because today it could be them, tomorrow it could be you, and we are one. When my brother hurt, we all should hurt. What they did wrong, yes, that was wrong. But like I said, not all of us going to be able to cross over. But we learn from our mistakes because we are one. We learn from our mistakes because we are one. And some of us is not going to cross over. Some of us going to fall on the wayside. But this right here is a lesson learned for the next generation to come. Because we don't want to keep repeating the same cycle over and over and over. Like I said, all this right here was supposed to have been only 11 or a 14-day journey, and we are still in the wilderness. But like I said, who going to say enough is enough? So let's go ahead and continue. So right here, you can be sure that wherever in the whole world the message is preached, what she has just done is going to be remembered and admired. So what she did is going to be remembered and it's going to be admired because material stuff did not mean anything to her. That's why I tell you guys, leave these people's stuff alone. Come out of her because it all belongs to you anyway. The Bible said there and say that the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof, it all belongs to you. And just like I said there and say the dollar is about to lose value anyway. The dollar is about to lose value anyway. It's worth nothing. If these people wants to pay you, listen to me real good because I am in the spirit right now. If these people want to pay you, make them pay you in gold. Make them pay you in gold, because paper is something that they went around and cut trees and put a value on it. But God said there and said, our streets are paved with gold. It's all ours anyway. It's all ours anyway. All they going to do is bring it back to the sender. Bring it back to the sender, because all the golds, the diamonds, all the minerals, it belongs to us anyway. And I know you guys don't want to hear it. What the heck is D is talking about? Sooner or later, you will realize what I'm talking about, because heaven and earth is going to remain. Don't let these people sit there and tell you, oh, the world is about to end. No, the world is not going to end, but you will. Because the Most High God say, I even regret even making man. So that's why I sit there and say, it's not about Dottie Squatty or anybody. It's about leaving legacies. We don't want the next generation to fall in the same trap that our forefathers kept going around and round and round with. So let's go ahead and continue, guys. Right here in 14 and 16. And if you guys just coming on, I am in the book of Matthew's 26. I'm reading the Message Bible. You read whatever Bible that you feel led to read, okay? So 14 and 16, it says, this is when one of the 12, the ones named Judas, and we already know about Judas, okay? There's a lot of Judas in the camp today, okay? And you're going to see them, because when trouble comes, there will be nowhere to be found. This is when one of the 12, the one named Judas Iscariot, went to the cabin of the high priest and said, what will you give me if I hand him over to you? See, right there, your own people. It's not a stranger. Because if it was a stranger, you would sit there and you would know. Hold on, let me do a mic check, because I don't want to talk by myself, okay? Okay, I'm making sure that I do a mic check. So let me read it again. So right there, Judas went to the high priest. He went to these ones that, we're gonna say the FBI, the whoever, these ones that wants to be the judge, the jury, and the executor. So he went to them and he wanted to bargain. He said, what will you give me if I hand him over to you? They settled on 30 pieces of silver. He began looking for just the right moment to hand him over. All this right here is a fixed fight. This is nothing new under the sun. And I'm pretty sure that when the feds come on you, they already sit there and they got their T's crossed and their I's dotted. They are not like the state. Because when the state, they're going to sit there and they're going to see what's going to stick. But when the feds come after you, it can be 2 years, 10 years. Sometimes it could be 14 years. They're going to make sure that they have enough evidence to make sure that you don't get out. And that's why they went ahead, which Sean Combs, according to all the information that I had gathered, and I'm going to say allegedly, he was cooperating with them. He even came down to New York to cooperate with them. And I don't think that he had the slightest idea that he was not going to, at least plead a bond. They already had it set. They already had it set of how much that P. Diddy was willing to put on the table for his freedom. But lo and behold, they sat there and say, I don't give a care what it is, because their money is no value anyway. So I don't care if you give me $100 million. You ain't getting out of this, because what they are trying to do, guys, they are trying to set an example for the next ones. I don't care how much money you sit there and try to offer, you're not coming. Because like I said, you don't play on the devil's playground. Much is given, much is required. Now, like I said, what I would do, I wouldn't even try to offer no more money, because you're not going to get out of this. And even if they decide to take an offer, You're still going to be right back in it until they financially drain you. You either going to come out either two ways. You're going to come out, you guys know exactly, or like I said, they're going to financially drain you because right now they are using the court of public opinion to sit there and crucify you. This right here, what we are seeing a sacrificial lamb. We are seeing a sacrificial lamb. And what I would do, this is what I would do. What I feel led in the spirit to go ahead and say, if you are listening to me, because now P. Diddy, he don't care. He just listen to anybody, because he wants to get out of this. I will go ahead and I will get rid of my attorneys and get all black attorneys and make sure the black attorneys that you get have a black strong wife in that house, everything black, family black, think black, everything black, 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 to make sure that whatever money that you give into these high profile attorneys going to be poured back into your black community. Come on, guys. He that have an ear, let him hear what the Spirit of the Lord is saying. Because like I said, I don't think that P. Diddy is going to come out of this. He is now in what I call the Garden of Gethsemane. He's now in the Garden of Gethsemane. That's the crushing place. That is what I call the crushing place. Okay. So let's go ahead and read some more because I'm talking to people that have an ear to hear. This is not for everybody. If you sat on the soapbox, all into reality shows, all into distractions, this is not for you. Okay. So right here, we're going to go into 17. We're going to talk about the traitors. On the first day of the unleavened bread, the disciples came to Jesus and said, where do you want us to prepare your Passover meal? So right there, they ready to go ahead and start a feast. Go and start a feast because, they know that the time is almost near. The time is almost near. So they want one last party. They want one last gathering. So 18 and 19, he said, enter the city. Go up to a certain man and say, the teacher says, my time is near. So they know. You cannot tell me that P. Diddy didn't know that his time was running out. You can't tell me he didn't know because God is a God of order. God is not going to pass a messenger to tell you. First, the Most High God is going to tell you. And when you don't take heed, he going to send his messenger. And when you don't take heed to his messenger, then you're going to feel the wrath of God. That's how it works. That's how it works when it comes to our chosen people. And like I said, I'm not changing over here. I'm not changing over here. Yes, I can sit there and talk about these reality shows, but I know exactly how to take the foolish things to conform the wise. Okay. So let's go and listen to some more. So right here in 20 and 21, after sunset, he and the 12 was sitting around the table doing the meal. He said, I have something hard but important to say to you. So he got something that was heavy, very heavy on his mind. One of you is going to hand me over to the conspirators. So right there, Jesus was telling his disciples, the ones that broke bread, the ones that ate and slept with him, the ones that when everything was going good, it was all there. But yet is one in the camp. There's a Judas in a camp that's going to turn on you. There's a Judas in the camp that's going to turn on you. The ones that was right there by your side, the ones that cried with you, ate with you, partied with you, they are going to betray you. They're going to sell you out for 30 pieces of silver. And I know, guys, I am breaking it down where even a child can understand. So if you sit there and say, what the heck she's talking about? All this right here is Bible prophecies. Can't get no clearer than this. It's going to be someone in your camp that's going to betray you. And it always be the ones that's close, near, and dear to you. Right here it says, after sunset, he and the 12 was sitting around the table during the meal. He said, I have something hard but important to say to you. One of you are going to hand me over to the conspirators. And I wish that I could find that little clip. I should have played that little clip when all of them, I got a picture of it, when all of them was sitting around the table like it was the Last Supper, partying, drinking, and eating, not knowing that it was a Judas at that camp. Let me go ahead and put this picture up because I need to make it clear. I need to make it clear. Let me put this up. This no better time to put this picture up. I wish I had the clip when they all was talking about how they was all billionaires, and sometimes we brag too much. You don't see Elon Musk. You don't see Elon Musk sitting there showing the inside of his home and bragging and throwing money on women. You don't see them doing stuff like that. But why when it comes to our people? Why when it comes to our people, we wants to sit there and we wants to showboat? You're not gonna come out of it showboat. So let me go ahead and put this background right here. You remember the time? Let me see if you guys can see me. Let me see, because it's midnight now, guys. It's midnight. Midnight. It's midnight right now. I hope you can see this picture right here because it's midnight. The hour has come. The hour has come. It's midnight. So let me go ahead and get back to what I'm saying. There's a Judas in the camp. In 22, they were stunned and then began to ask one after another, "It isn't me? Is it, Master?" So right there, they went all through the table when he was telling them that the hour has come. And I know you guys don't want to hear it, but God say tell it to them anyway. Because their ears are hurting, their ears are bleeding, they are dropping like flies. They don't want to hear this because our people love to be tickled, they love to be stroked. So they're dropping like flies now. But God say tell it to them anyway. I could talk about reality shows and all this foolish stuff all day. Oh, they there. But when the minute when you sit there and you start waking your people up, they don't want to hear that. Because our people would rather hear a lie than hear a truth. But in here is unapologetic real talk. Unapologetic real talk. People cannot hear this. Just like in the beginning, in the Bible days, when Moses was talking to the Most High God, and a lot of stuff. All this right here is a lot of metaphors. But when he was talking to the Most High God, the people was telling, we want to hear from God ourselves. So when God started talking, they couldn't hear. Their ears was bleeding. So people that's hearing this right here, their ears are bleeding. Their ears are bleeding. Let me sit there and be like Tisha Teller, this YouTuber that dropping videos after videos after videos. Ain't nobody jealous of Tisha Teller. Nobody jealous because, like I said, she's beautiful on the outside, but God already showed me inside this woman is a witch. Yes, this woman is a witch, and you can get mad all you want because the devil is going to come out as a lumina. He's going to come out as beautiful, but inside is like a raven wolf. That's a gossip spirit demon. That's a gossip spirit demon, and we are said that we are support stuff like that. But when it start talking about the truth, oh my God, we don't want to hear it. But let somebody gossip. That's not going to last. Like a Wendy Williams. Wendy Williams was on top. She was the gossip queen. But what happened? All those spirits, all the people that she put her foot on their neck, all those spirits came inside of her and got her out of her mind. Wendy Williams don't know if she's coming and going. I was watching this YouTuber. She barely can open her eyes, not even getting no rest. I was even watching Mark Hills. Mark Hills can't even sit there and stay up. Like I said there and say, you're going to know them by the fruit that they bear. I can sleep at night because I get plenty of rest. I don't have to sit there and set up all night waiting for a viral moment. I don't care because I have not sold my soul. Because the Most High God say, if two can put 500 a flight. Just think about what 10 can put. So I'm not worried because the Most High God would never, ever allow me to be by myself. He said, wherever you go, even if you lay your head in hell, he said, I will be right there. So I'm not worried about if I got two or three. I'm not worried about that. I'm not caring if I'm by myself because God say he would never leave me nor forsake me because we are some stiff-necked people. We got people that have some itchy ears. Amen. So right there, in 22, they were stunned and then began to ask one after another, is it me? Is it me, Master? Jesus answered, the one who hands me over is someone I eat with daily. One will pass me food at the table. So Jesus was telling the ones that's sitting at the table, the ones that break bread with me, the ones that's going to pass the food with me, they are the ones that's going to betray me. Those are the ones that's going to betray me for 30 pieces of silver. So it's not a stranger. Your enemy is not on the outside because if your enemy was on the outside, what you can do? You would close the doors. But what about if the enemies that you breaking bread with, you sleeping with, those are the ones that's going to hand you over, okay? We got women, we got silly sheep. They'll sit there and they'll say, I don't care, you can beat my tail, just like Rodney King, beat my tail, give me my money. Pay off. Some people, they'll go through the hell. They'll go through the hell because they have sold their soul for almighty dollars. He that have an ear, let him hear what the Spirit of the Lord is saying. So let's go ahead and continue. The one who hand me over is someone I eat with daily, one who passes me food at the table. In one sense, the Son of Man is entering into a way of treacherous, well marked by the scriptures. No surprise here. It's no surprise. Nothing is new in the sun. What we see right now that's happening to P. Diddy, R. Kelly, uh, uh, Bill Cosby, all these silly sheets, nothing new. Nothing new. Because what they are trying to do, they are trying to mimic their oppressors. And that's why they are the ones that's falling down the wayside. You don't see a Hugh Hefner. You don't see him when he was alive. You didn't see that anybody was shining the light on him. They said, well, if it was the Me Too movement, he would have been in jail. No, jail was not designed for him. Jail was designed for our melanated brothers. No, he would have never. That's why he was able to die with his legacy. And we're going to go in and talk about all that. Okay. Like I say, I am talking to my people. If my people who are called by my name will humble themselves, pray, and seek my face, and turn from their wicked ways, repent, and then you shall hear from heaven, and I will heal their land. In one sense, the Son of Man is entering into a way of treacherous, well marked by the scripture. No surprise here. In another sense, that man who turned him in turns traitor to the Son of Man. Better never to have been born than to do this. When you are a traitor, that's why they say when it comes to snitches, when you are a traitor, what it says right here, you better never have been born than to do this. Because long as things was going good, long as they was breaking bread, they was partying. And soon in a minute, when the heat started raising, they were scattering. They were scattering and wondering why we are still going around in circles. And we're going to continue. The next generation going to continue going around into circles until someone say enough is enough. Enough is enough. So let's go ahead and continue. In 25, then Judas, already turned traitor, said, is it me? Is it me? So right there, he already did it. He already went and sold him out for 30 pieces of silver. But yet this Negro had the audacity to go in front of the Messiah's face and say, is it me? Now you already know what you done, but yet you asking, is it me? You see how these snakes do? Now Judas already went and plotted against the Messiah but had the audacity when the Messiah told him that someone at this table was going to betray me. This joker had the audacity to say, is it me? Is it me? And this is what the Messiah told Judas. Don't play games with me. Don't play games with me. He said right here, I didn't make this up. I'm just breaking it down where even a child can understand. Don't play games with me, Judas. You already know what you done done. I already know what you done did. You cannot hide from God. You cannot hide from the Most High God. That's why I'm telling you, people, stop letting these jokers sitting there saying that you are not the chosen one. You are the chosen one. No other race have ever been through what we have been through. You don't see these jokers sitting there trying to figure out, telling and on each other. The only ones that's going to tear on each other, the only ones that's going to act like crabs in the barrel, and that's our own people. These people right now that we sitting there calling the real chosen ones, they ain't going to tell on each other. They going to make sure that they going to stay in unity. They going to stay unified. We are the only ones that when the heat start blazing, we are running because we don't know who we are. They know who we are, but we don't know. So I like it. Jesus said, don't play with me. Don't play with me. So let's go ahead in 26 and 29, because I'm going to finish this because we're going to go to the Garden of Gethsemane. We're going to go to the Garden of Gethsemane because that's the crushing place. But you got to go through different levels. That's why I said there and say when it came to P. Diddy, and not just P. Diddy, because P. Diddy, like I said there and say, there's more. That's more. It's going to continue. We've been going through this over 400 plus years. So we can't sit there and say, oh, P. Diddy. What about one that came before P. Diddy and before that? Like I said, stay out of the devil's playground because much is given, much is required. Nothing is new under the sun. Nothing is new under the sun. And like I said, guys, I am breaking this down where even a child can understand. There's different levels. So let's go ahead when they was breaking bread, okay? So in 26:29, during the meal, Jesus took and he blessed the bread. He broke it and he gave it to his disciples. Right here, now they taking communion. They taking communion. That's why I sit there and say some of these churches today, they're not in order. And you wondering why the church is sick today. You wondering why the church is sick today because they are not in order. I was watching Lil Boosie. I think it was last night where right in his car, he say, I'm finna take my communion. He pulled out the little crackle, like the little juice that they have, in churches and took his communion right in his car. Like I said, we are lost sheep. We are lost sheep because we mimic everything other people do. So right there, they were taking their communion. He said, take, eat. This is my body. Take the cup and thanking God he gave to them. Drink this, all of you. This is my blood. God's new covenant poured out for me and for many blessings for the forgiveness of sins. And right there, they were taking communion. This was their last supper. Right here was their last supper. So after they took communion, after they sat there and they all had a great feast, let's go ahead into the Garden of Gethsemane. Many people don't want to go into the Garden of Gethsemane. And that's 31 and 32. The Garden of Gethsemane is the crushing place. Nobody wants to be crushed. Nobody wants to be crushed. In order for the anointing to ooze out, you got to go through that crushing place where it would be just like powder. It just, if you want to know how they crush olives in order for the oil, go and Google that and you can see how they take olives and they crush it in order to get the oil out. So that is the crushing place. Nobody wants to go into the crushing place. Everybody want a feel good moment. So right here, in 31 and 32. Then Jesus told them, before the night is over, you're going to fall to pieces because of what happened to me. There is a scripture that says, I'll strike the shepherd, dazed and confused, the sheep will be scattered. So right there, he was telling you, when midnight come, and your midnight don't have to be a 12 a.m. Your midnight does not have to be a 12 p.m. Your midnight can be when you wake up. So right there, he was telling them, when midnight come, you all going to fall asleep. And that's exactly what you see right now. You are seeing so many people, they have fallen asleep because the shepherd has been striked. So when the shepherd has been strike, the whole sheep are confused. So what happens? They scattered abroad. They are running. They are hiding. Guys, I am breaking this down where even a child can understand this. And that's what they do. They go after the shepherd. They go after what they call, the world call it the big fish. We call it the shepherd. The world call it the big fish. Go after the big fish. Then the sheep gonna scatter. They gonna start talking. They gonna start telling on each other. They gonna start running. When you going through, it's just you, yourself, and I. That's it. When you are going through, when you are in that garden of Gethsemane, ain't nobody gonna be there. Nobody. These people will use your own mama. They will use your own family to sit there and break you down if you are not strong enough. If you are not strong enough to go through the fire, they will break you down. And I'm pretty sure when they break you down, they're going to use the same blueprint right here. Like I say, nothing is new under the sun. They're going to use the same blueprint right here. They're going to get it from within. Come on, guys. He that have an ear, let him hear what the Spirit of the Lord is saying. So right here, they said, Jesus, they say, I will strike the shepherd. Mean I will go after the head. And I will go after the head. They go after the head. Dazed and confused, the sheep will be scattered. So when you go after the head, the sheep gonna scatter. But after I am raised up, I, your shepherd, will go ahead of you, leading the way to Galilee. He gonna raise up, but not on this side. He gonna raise up, and the way that he's going to raise up by leaving legacies for his children's children. So don't worry about yourself no more, because I don't think that he even coming out of this. But you can leave legacies for your children's children. You can put that money back into the Black community. Oh my God, they don't want to hear this. They don't want to hear this. Put the money back into the Black community. Stop sitting there pouring it back into the power that be, because most likely they all cut a deal. Most likely the ones that you got as your so-called attorneys is breaking bread with high people in high places. Like I said, this right here is nothing but a game. That's why I said in the last days, it will be a distraction. Hollywood and politics, this is all about politics. This is a dark game. But if I'm going to put the money back, money that I said there and I had built up, stacked up, or however they want to call it, I won't put it back into my oppressor's hands. I will pour that money back into my own people's community. You said it. And I wish I can find those clips, and I'm going to find those clips where P. Diddy wanted to do for his community. But like I said, sometimes you can build a house, you can furnish the house, but that does not mean that you can rest in that house. You told the Most High God that, God, I want to take this money. I am now a billionaire and I want to help my people. But it never be the way that you think it's going to be. And the reason why it never be the way that you think it to be, because then you start boasting in yourself. I did this. I did that. But God sit there and say, this is your chance right now. Take the money and pour it back into your black community. Don't worry about yourself anymore because God got this. God got this. And I know P. Diddy don't want to hear this. And I know our black brothers don't want to hear this. Stop sitting there pouring your money back into the power that be, because much is given, much is required. These people is not going to let you die with your legacy intact, but you can break generational curses. Instead of sitting there spending millions of dollars trying to get yourself out, why don't you pour that $1 million, that $50 million into the black communities? In the black communities, because you told that to the Most High God. You told that to the Most High God. And I'm going to play that tape. I'm going to find that clip. And guys, if you are watching me, email me that clip. But I'm going to find it. When he stood up with the rest of his brothers, with all the stuff that they was going to do, black excellent, billionaires, all was rounded together. Not, it wasn't this picture right here, but Jay-Z was in it as well, what they was going to do. But now God is holding you up for that. And just because you're not the one may not see it. Moses didn't even see it. That's why I said there and say, guys, I know how to rightfully divide the word of truth. I know exactly how to make the word come alive. Moses couldn't even, Moses led the people to the promised land, but he was not able to enter in, but he peeped. He was only to peep. He only saw the promised land from the distance. You might not be able to walk in it, the vision that you had for your people, P. Diddy, but you got enough resources. You got enough power. You got enough money to sit there and pass that torch. Hire you some black attorneys with a black wife, with a black mind. Be one first. Come on, guys. Someone put be one first. So let's go ahead and continue. Because you're not going to hear this from anywhere. Because see, you guys thinking, oh, I need to come in and see how to crucify him. Well, you already done crucify him. He already nailed to the cross. He ain't coming out of this. But then again, who am I? I don't have the power to lay it down. And I don't have the power to raise it back up because I am not God, okay? I am a goddess. I am a goddess. Okay? So right there, let's see what one of the disciples have done. Because see, like I said, when you strike the head, them disciples going to scatter, okay? So Peter is the one that the Most High God rebuked him. You remember when the Most High God had told Peter, the devil is using you. So Peter spoke up. He said, even if everyone else fall to pieces on account of you, I won't. See, that's why I said they say cheek and tongue will say anything. The mouth will say anything. That's why don't worry. Don't let people sit there and say, oh, I'm going to do this for you, D. Oh, I'm going to do that for you. No, we're looking for action. We're looking for actions because cheek and tongue will say anything. The mouth will say anything. But let fear come upon them. Let fear come upon them. Let their feet be under the fire. Shoot, there'll be nowhere to be hide. This is Peter. Peter broke in the conversation. And Peter, this conversation was nothing about you. But Peter said, even if everyone fail you, even if everyone else leave you, oh Messiah, I'm not going to leave you. He said, even if everyone else falls to pieces on the account of you, I won't. And this is what the Messiah told him. He said, don't be so sure. Don't be too quick to speak now, Peter. This is a very night. This is very night. And night means that, like I said, those are some dark days that's coming. I ain't changing over here, guys. I promise you, I'm staying here because I see it. You guys may not see it, but I see it. So right here, he said the very night before the rooster crows up that dawn, before the sunset, you will deny me 3 times. Now Peter was sitting there, just told him, "Oh, it ain't be me. I won't betray you." Jesus said, "Then say when the cock crow 3 times, you're gonna go ahead and deny me." Peter protests. He pleads, "Even if I have to die with you." You listen, see what people said, and I'm pretty sure it had a lot of people around P Diddy say, "Man, look, I'm gonna stick with you all the way to the end, cause I know that you ain't did nothing wrong." They looking at this other one guy. What's his name? Stephen J. I hope we gonna watch you, Stephen J. We gonna see. Because I remember when Nature Boy was going through, one of them wanted to cut their right arm for Nature Boy. Say, "I died with you, Nature Boy." But soon when the cock start crying, the heat start flaming, shoot, they was sitting there talking like they had diarrhea in the mouth. So they watching you, Stephen J. And not just Stephen J. So I'm not calling no names. I'm not calling no names. And I take that back right now. Because like I said, when the heat going, we already know how these demons play. These demons does not play fair. They will sit there and they would turn you over until you sit there and start talking because we're not ready to die for this. We got these people overseas where they don't mind unaliving themselves for their cause. They don't mind going through, but not us. You see, we ain't gonna go through. We'll go through at a distance. And after that, we ain't gonna go through. But let's go ahead and talk about it because I'm about to get to the meat, okay? Peter protests, "Even if I had to die with you, I would never deny you." All the other ones said the same thing. So all the other ones that were sitting at the table, they all said the same thing. "I'm going to the distance with you. And I'm going to show you how they play. They're not going to go to the outsiders. This right here, if you want to know how the, the, the court system work, the system work, read this chapter right here. Matthew's 26. This is exactly how they play the game. This is exactly how they play the game. Read Matthew's 26. So let's go ahead and continue. All the rest of them agreed with Peter. Peter told Jesus, "Jesus, you've been too good to me. Jesus, you gave us these parties, man. You had us looking good. We was hobnogging with the best. I mean, we had all the girls. We had thousands and thousands of baby oil to rub all over us. We had every blind head, blue eyed, the American dream, women, white women. We had everything. So you think that, all the good stuff that you did, you put food on our table, you got us living a good life. You think I'm gonna betray you?" So let's see what's going on, okay? Because like I said, ain't nothing new under the sun. I got the sword. I know how to rightfully divide the word of God, okay? So right here, 36 and 38. Then the Messiah went with them to a garden called Gethsemane. I was in that garden before, the Garden of Gethsemane. I may not have been through what they've been through with a P. Diddy and somebody else, but we all been in that Garden of Gethsemane. It's that crushing place. And if you never ever been through that Garden of Gethsemane, trust me, keep living, keep living. But right there in that garden called Gethsemane, and told his disciples, "Stay here while I go over there and pray," taking along Peter. So he took along Peter and 2 sons of Zebedee. He plunged into an agonizing sorrow. Right there, the Messiah. The Messiah, he went into a deep sorrow, a deep depression. Like I said, he's among us right now in the flesh. Don't let these jokers sit there telling you that he's going to pop out of the sky. He's among you in the flesh. He have feelings just like anybody else because we are one. We are one. But we got to be on one accord because when one hurt, we all hurt. Don't let these jokers, and I shouldn't even be telling you guys this right now because it's not for this platform right here. It's only for those that awake. Don't let these jokers thinking that this is an individual, one person. No, we are one body. We are one mind, one soul, one love. When one hurt, we all should hurt because we all a part of one body, and that's the Most High God. Some of this right here might go clean over some of your heads. What the heck she's talking about? He that have an ear, let him hear what the Spirit of the Lord is saying. Going a little ahead, he fell on his face praying, my Father. He's talking to the Most High God. If there is any way, get me out of this. But please, not what I want you. What do you want me to do? He said there saying, God, if there's any way, let me be able to escape this wrath of God. But he also sat there and said, however, let it be in your will. That's what he was saying. Not my will, but let it be thy will. And when he came back to his disciples, he found them sound asleep. So right there, the Most High God, not the Most High God, Jesus, the Son of Man, he told his disciples, stay awake. Stay awake while I go and pray to the Most High God. But he found them asleep. Now you may think that the sleep is that, he needed to go and they needed to go and lay down. See, that's the world way, But the sleep that I am talking about of what our people are right now, our people are asleep. And what these people in high places, principalities, wickedness, and evil places, they know exactly how to rock us to sleep. So that's the sleep that the Messiah was saying to stay up. But we got many people right now are asleep. So when you read this right here and you don't know how to rightfully divide it, you thinking that asleep is, oh, I'm going to bed and I'm going to tuck myself under the cover. No, asleep is how you allow these people to put you to sleep. When fear comes, you asleep. You sit there and you turn coat. That's the sleep. Or they give you money, 30 pieces of silver, and they put you to sleep. That's the sleep that I'm talking about. So let's go ahead and read it again. And when he came back to his disciples, he found them sound asleep. He said to Peter, can't you stick it out with me a single hour? Stay alert, be in prayer so you don't wander into temptation without even knowing you are in danger. So right there, the Messiah was telling Peter, the chosen one, that saying, I would die for you. But as you can see right now, he didn't even want to be awake. He didn't even want to watch over him. He didn't want to even cover him because he fell asleep. He allowed the things of the world to rock him to sleep. So there is a part of you that is eager. So right there, Jesus was telling you, I know there's a part in you, that's a part in you that wanted to see me through it. But because your flesh is so weak, you allow these people to rock you to sleep. There's no loyalty when it comes to the Black community, the melanated God and goddesses, because they don't know who they are. There is a part of you that is eager, ready for anything in God. See, that's a part that you wants to say, God, I will live for you. God, I will die for you. But God, I am afraid of my life because I'm afraid of what's going to come. And Peter was the same one that when God already had showed him miracles, when he was not even in the Garden of Gethsemane, when Peter was walking on water, when he almost sunk, God said there and say, Peter, take your eyes off of your circumstances. Take your eyes of what you're going through and keep your eyes on me. Long as Peter kept his eyes on the Most High God, he was able to walk the water. So if God had performed miracles back then, what makes you think that he cannot perform miracles now? Oh my God, you can't get it no better than this, guys. I am breaking it down where even a child can understand. You don't need a PhD. All you need is an ear to hear what the Spirit of the Lord is saying. There's a part of you that is eager, ready for anything in God. But there's another part that's as lazy. Our people lazy. But there's another part that is as lazy as an old dog sleeping by the fire. There's a part of us that is lazy like an old dog sleeping by the fire. We allow those people to rock us to sleep. And all this right here is happening right now because they know that it's election time and they need to distract us. They know that we was talking too much when it came to politics. We was talking too much about reparation. We was talking too much about how to educate our people. Don't fall into these okie dokies, into all this politics. So we needed to get a celebrity. They always got a deck. This is right here. This is chess. This is what the DA might call poker. They already got an ace in the spade. One fall, let's go ahead and put them out. Once they throw us that little bones, we're going to run to that bone. That's why you go to everybody's page right now. Go to everybody's page right now. And all they talking about is P. Diddy, P. Diddy, P. Diddy, P. Diddy. Ain't nobody even worrying about the campaign no more. See, I'm trying to wake you up. I'm trying to wake you up. Nobody is talking about the campaign no more. Nobody is not even talking about whether Kamala Harrison is black or white, Indian, Jamaica. They're not worrying about that no more. They're not even worrying about reparation. They're not even worrying about the votes. They're not worrying about nothing anymore. But they're going to still run to the ballot. But to get into, all this inside information, they don't care no more because, like I said, we asleep. We just like what the Bible says. We like a lazy dog sleeping by the fire. They have put us to sleep. Like I said, all this right here is just a distraction. All this right here is a distraction. So now, in those 40 some days, we're not going to question anything. We're just going to run like silly sheeps. We're not even going to discuss anything anymore because they figured out how to put us to sleep. So let me go ahead and continue because this is good. He then left them a second time. So he already left them the first time. So don't you think the second time you'll get it together? Again, he prayed, "My Father, if there is no other way than this, drinking this cup to the dread, I am ready. Do it your way." So right there, the Messiah said, I done had enough because I already told them what to do to stay up, not allow these people to sit there and stroke them and put them to sleep. I came back and found them to sleep like some lazy dogs sleeping by the fireplace. So God, look, have it your way. If you're ready to take me right now. That's what Jesus was telling. That's what the Messiah was telling them. See, sometimes you just had enough. God, these your people. I done had enough. Do whatever you need to do. Do what you ever need to do. So right there, he went and he told God. At first, he was pleading to God, "Look, God, this is too heavy for me. This cross is too heavy for me to bear. If it's possible, take it away." But after he saw these knucklehead people, he said, right here, he said, right here, he said, "My prayer, Father, if there is no other way than this, drinking this cup to the dread, I am ready. Do it your way." And when he came back, he again found them sound asleep. Now he already had woke them up, but then they fell deep in a sleep. See, our people is deep in the sleep. That's why I said they say, don't worry about these knuckleheads. These people are asleep. These people are no earthly good. God, don't hold the ones that's awake, the ones that see it. Don't hold us for these knuckleheads. Let them stay asleep. Let them fall by the wayside. He said, when he came back, he again found them sound asleep. They simply couldn't keep their eyes open. This time he left them sleep on. So this time, like I said, everybody come in. Oh, this is not of God. God is of love. God is of peace. Yes, he is all that. But he also a God of wrath. Sometimes God said they say, I'm going to turn them over to a reprobated mind because these people are some stiff-necked people. So he said they say, let them stay asleep. So I'm talking to you guys that you say that you are woke. Don't sit there and worry about these knuckleheads because they're going to end up bringing you down with them. Let them stay asleep. Let them continue going to Atisha Teller or Tasha K. Let them continue going to all these bloggers that's sitting there doing their assignment to tear down each other. Let them continue going there because these people are not ready to come out. Don't you think if someone has sat there and put a $400 million, a $4 million lawsuit on me, I would sit there and say, oh my God, look, I got children. I'm going to come out. Look, let them have it. But no, it just kept them asleep. They just kept them asleep. We got this little young girl. I mean, beautiful is all outdoors. I mean, why is she sitting and making videos after videos after videos after videos? Like I said, there and say these young people. I'm not talking about old like me. Look, I'm resting. I'm retired. This is my leisure time. I could stay on all day, all night because I live my life. But we got these young women right now where they sitting there. I mean, they just wasting their life for almighty dollars because they need to sit there and feed these trolls, these thirsty trolls. Feed these thirsty trolls. And I'm telling you, nothing good gonna come out of this. But let's go ahead and continue because we are now in the Garden of Gethsemane. These people are asleep. You guys thought we was talking about a physical sleep, but no, we talking about a spiritual sleep. And I promise you, in some of these churches today, you're not going to hear this. You're not going to hear this. And right here, when he came back again, they were sound asleep. Then simply couldn't keep their eyes open. This time he left them sleep on. He went back a third time. See, like I say, God is not just a first and second chance, he gives you a third chance. So right there, he gave him a third chance. So don't sit there and say that you was not warned. Don't sit there and say that, oh, I didn't know. God gave you a third chance. He said, and he went back a third time to pray, going over the same grounds one last time. He gave you one last time. And this right here is what I call the last trumpet. This is it, guys. This is it. You either in or you out. You either hot or you cold, but you cannot be in between. This it. This it. You don't have time anymore. Time is out. Time is now. So don't get ready. Be ready because you never know when that trumpet sound. And we got some foolish people and we got some wise people. That's why I sit there and say, don't let your aura run out because you are in some dark times now. You are in some dark times now. And when he came back to the next time, he said, are you going to sleep on and make a night out of it? I'm talking to you right now, black man. I'm talking to you right now, black woman. Are you going to continue staying asleep like some lazy dogs by a fireplace? When are you going to shake off of these grave clothes and come out of her? When are you going to wake up? And this is some good meat, guys. And it's not just for you, it's for me too. It's for me too. He gave us a third time. He said right here, are you going to sleep and make a night of it? My time is up. He's telling you right now, my time is up. The Son of Man is about to be handed over to the hands of sinners. So all these ones that sat there, they didn't do good, they didn't do right by all the money that was poured into them. They wanted to go and pour it on strippers and drink and live in these high risings apartments and wearing all these Gucci, Versace, and Fendi's, wearing the entire investments on their back. You had chance enough to store up. You had chances. You knew that this was not going to last. Right here, he says, my time is up. There ain't no more, no P. Diddy no more, no P. Diddy. If you just sat there, you took all your money and gave it back to the system, you just stuck like Chuck now. Because my time is up. The Son of Man is about to be handed over to the hands of sinners. Get up. Let's get going. My betrayer is here. He said they here. That's why I say don't get ready. Be ready. It's now. It's now or never. Now or never. And I'm almost done, guys. He says, with the sword and the clubs, they coming. Bad boy, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? They are here. The words were barely out of his mouth. So in a minute he even uttered the words that the Messiah said was barely out of his mouth when Judas, the one from the 12, showed up. His own people showed up. And with him, a gang of officers. And here says high priest, but I'm talking about this big old army, with all this force came in. Well, you saw that. I should have had the pictures, but you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm talking about they used the entire military force, came in and busted down. Even had the children, had guns pointed at the children. I mean, they tore it up from the floor up, but it was an inside job. It was a Judas that was in the camp. No way in the world that these people would have sat there, been breaking down walls and going to certain places unless it was told to them. They knew exactly what they was going in to do because it was an inside job. Like I said, nothing is new in the sun. I am breaking scriptures to tell you what's going on, guys. All this, what you're seeing right now, was an inside job. The ones that he had broke bread with, the ones that said that I would never leave you, the ones that said I will go all the way to the end are the Judases. It's some Judases in the camp. Right here, it says they showed up and with him a gang from who that was, the feds, the CIA, banishing swords and clubs, came in with a full force. The betrayer, Judas, had worked out a sign with them. What he did was he put up a sign. He said, I'm going to put a sign up. I'm not going to point him out to you, but I'm going to put a sign up. You see? And his sign was sealed with a kiss. He said, the one I kiss, that's the one. Go and get him, seize him. He went straight to the Messiah. He greeted him. Hi, are you? Diddy? Hi, are you, Diddy? And he kissed him. Like I said, nothing is new in the sun. There's a lot of more Diddies out there. There's a lot of more Diddies out there. Then the Messiah said, friend, what is this Quran? Why are you fronting? I already know you was going to betray me. See, like I said, they say they already knew, but they can't get out of it because they so knee deep in it. Now, you already know that it was going to be someone right in your camp that was going to betray you. So, like I said, he said, friend, you won't call me friend? That's why I said they say these ain't no friends. These are frenemies. These are enemies. Then they came on to him. They grabbed him and roughed him up. One of those with the Messiah pulled his sword. Now it was somebody that, was protecting him. We gonna go, we going with a fight. We ain't gonna just let, hand our Messiah over to you without a fight. One of those with the Messiah pulled his sword and taking a swing at the chief servant and cut off his ear. So one of the Messiah's disciples cut off one of these authorities. I ain't gonna say chief priests because they put themselves in, you see, and cut off his ear. But then the Messiah said, "Put your sword back, when it where it belongs. All who use swords are destroyed by swords." And that's what Minister Farrakhan has said. These people acting like Minister Louis Farrakhan came with pow pows and bats and it's his mouth. He told me, say, put down your swords. They said there and say, just because they got swords, we don't need swords because we about to see God perform his miracles right now. You about to see God perform his miracles. Don't you realize that I am able right now to call to my Father and 12 companies more, if I want them, of fighting angels would hear battles ready. So the Messiah said and say, look, don't you know this right here is a spiritual warfare that we are going through? This is a spiritual fight. I don't need you in the flesh to sit there and fight evil with evil. I can call down to my Father and he will send my ancestors to fight on my behalf. But like I said, look, I done did what all I had to do. You guys, like I said, I already told you what the assignment, I already told you what's going to happen, but you guys some stiff-necked people. I told you, leave these people stuff alone. Stop allowing these people to continue rocking you to sleep. And soon a minute, I gave you one chance, I gave you two chances, I gave you three. You still was like some lazy dogs by the fireplace. So like I said, Lord, let thy will be done. So right there, he has said, don't you realize that I am able now to call to my Father and 12 company more, if I want them, of fighting ancestors would be here ready to fight. But if I did that, how would the scriptures come true? That says this is the way it had to be. So right there, the Messiah said they say this is prophecies. What you see right now had to happen. That's why I tell you all the time, I don't read the Bible. I fulfill the Bible. Because see, the ones that ran before it, they put themselves in it. But this is talking about God's chosen people. So what we are doing is right now, we are writing our own stories. We writing our own story. So now it's beginning right now. Can't you hear the trumpet sounds? Can't you hear the trumpet sound? We are writing our story right now. This is a fixed fight. It's over with. It's finished. It's done. We just going through the process. Like our grandmother used to say, we just pilgrims, just on a pilgrim journey, just passing on by. God don't work the way that we work. We work from the beginning to the end, but God worked from the end to the beginning. God fast forward. It's already done. It's over with. It's already over with. So why are we afraid of anything? Why we let the flesh get the best of us when God says already finished? Then Jesus addressed the mob. What is this coming out after me with a sword and a club as if I were a dangerous criminal? You guys came with armors. You guys came full force. What is all this? Why are you making a big scene? Hey, I'm coming and I'm turning myself in. You want me? Hey, here am I. Here am I. Well, I'm a big threat. Well, I'm a big threat to you. When we got People right now that call themselves a chosen people, wolves in sheep clothing, sat there and had a turner inside of the synagogue, had baby chairs and dirty mattress. You didn't send that much force to them. But why you got to send that much force to me? What's going on? What's going on? Come on, guys. Make it make sense. So what is this coming out after me with a swords and clubs as if I was a dangerous criminal? Days after days, I have been sitting right here, and you never so much as lift a hand against me. You done it this way to confirm and fulfill the prophecies, right? So all you doing is you thinking that you trying to make a public spectacle out of me. This right here, this a fixed fight. This prophecies. This got to come. This got to come. I'm fulfilling scriptures. Like I said, God is going to show up and show out. So don't take your money, P. Diddy. Don't take your money, whoever is next, because there will be a next. Don't take your money and spending it and giving it back to the system, because that's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. That's why you're seeing so many people coming out of the woodwork. Me too. I've been through too. I've been through all this too. They're going to come out. But don't feed into that. Take your lick. Like Jesus did. Take your lick. Take your lick. Because it's not about you. I'd rather be absent from this body and presence with the Lord. I'd rather be absent from this body and present with the Lord. And what I'm saying right now is that it's not about you. Again, it's not about Dottie. It's not about Squatty. It's not about anybody. It's not about you. This is prophecies that are being fulfilled. And how can prophecies be fulfilled unless you say, Lord, here am I, use me, however you pleases. And God might not use you the way that you think that he's going to use you. He might not use you the way that you think he's going to use you, just like he did David. David was a man of God's heart, but David couldn't build the house of God because he had too much blood on his hands. You may have had too much blood on your hands, Sean Combs. So the vision that you had for your people, your hands may have not been clean, but don't give it back to the system. There's somebody right now that God is raising up that's going to sit there and fulfill, that's going to fulfill that vision, that mission. It may not have been you. It may be your children, but it was not for you. God allowed you to have the resources for the next person that's going to come in line. Don't stifle your anointing by pouring it back into your oppressors. I know it may not sound right because now you're looking at, your flesh. Your flesh is sitting there afraid. But like I said there and say, you're not the first that's went through this, and you're not going to be the last until we wake the hell up out and leave these people alone. This is a system, and the system is not messed up. The system only doing what the system is designed to do. These people already know the minute when you sign on the dotted line what you was going to do. They was keeping records. You thinking that you was keeping records on them, and that's the reason why they came full force. They came full force, and they knew exactly where to go because it was sealed already with a kiss. Oh my God, guys. Can't you see? Can't you see this? Can't you see this? I got to continue going because I want to go. I need to go with the charges. I need to give you the charges. So I got to continue. Right here, it says in 56 and 55 and 56. Then Jesus answered the mob, what is this coming after me with swords and clubs as if I was a dangerous criminal? Day after day, I have sit here and you never so much as lift a hand against me. You done it this way to confirm and fulfill the prophecies are written. So this is prophecies. Then all the disciples cut and ran. Oh my God. Then all the disciples cut and ran. All the disciples cut and ran, guys. They told him in the beginning, they told him that I will never leave you. But like I said, when you are in that garden called Gethsemane, you are all alone, all by yourself. They sit at that table long as they was breaking bread, drinking crystal, fine wine, eating good food, partying, throwing money at whatever. Everything was good. But the minute when the heat started turning, right here, it says all the disciples cut and ran. I got to continue, guys. The gang that had seized the Messiah laid him before Capris, the attorney general, not the attorney, this is feds. It's feds right here. So, like I say, when it comes to feds, they got their T's crossed and their I's dotted. They already got the information. They just waiting for him to exhaust his bank accounts. They already got they already got it. They got the information. That's why I said they say, let it go and let God. Just like the Messiah did. The Messiah said that say, Lord, not my will, but let thy will be done. So, and I'm talking about people in high places. So when you see religious scholars and leaders and symbols, those are people that's in high places. All this is politics. These religious people, these mega churches, and the politics and some of these celebrities, it's all politics. It's all politics. So when you see in the Bible chief priests and religious scholars, the first thing that they're gonna say, they say, "Oh, we talking about the Jays today." No, I'm talking about all of them, all together. Politics and Hollywood, entertainers and politics. They are the ones that control the massive. So right there, there's a Peter. Peter followed. Now you remember Peter said they said, "Oh no, I will unalive myself for you." So let's see what Peter said. Peter followed as a safe distance. So he followed from behind. He didn't want to get close up in the mix. See, we got people right now when it comes to Sean Combs, because like I say, all this right here is Bible prophecies. This right here, is playing out right now. It's just that you guys are so blinded and asleep, you can't see what's really going on. But there's Peters that's standing from a far distance. They watching, seeing what's going to happen, because the Messiah already done got arrested. So, they ain't going to come out. People saying that saying all the ones that was there partying and breaking bread, where are they right now? They from a distance. They watching. They are already heard. And I sit there and I say, no, I'm not going to report on that when it's talking about the Kardashians. They lawyering up. People are lawyering up in case they start knocking on their door, trying to prepare themselves because, a lot of people, he didn't do this by himself. He didn't do it by himself. But that's another story for another day. So right there, them Peters, they followed as a safe distance. They, until they got to courthouse. They got to the courthouse. Then he slipped in and he mingled with the servants, watching to see how things would turn out. So right there, he started mingling in with the world. Peter started interacting with the world, sitting there saying, what's going on, bro? Who is this man standing, before the judge? Who is this man? Peter already knew, trying to act like the world. So let's see what Peter doing. See, we got a lot of people that hung with him, but now they trying to clean themselves away from him. Some of you guys got this. Some of you guys got this. 59 and 60. I'm almost done, guys. Stay awake. Stay awake. Don't fall asleep. Stay awake. Don't fall asleep. Okay. So I'm almost done. I just had to get to this right here. Then the high priest conspired with the councils, tried to cook up charges. See, that's what they're doing, cooking up charges against the Messiah in order to sentence him to death. So now what they doing is they conspiring. They conspiring and they lying because they need something that's gonna stick. You see? Come on, guys. Come on, guys. So right there, this is good, guys. This is good. I don't know, but this is good. Thank you for hanging in with me, my girl. Thank you for hanging in with me. So I'm almost done. I promise you, I'm almost done. Then the high priest conspiring. I'm talking about, these people in high places, principalities, rulers. I'm talking about them. Okay. I ain't talking about no church people. Okay. So you see that, like I say, this is now. Okay. They's conspiring, try to cook up charges against him in order to sentence him to death. But even though many stepped up, making up one false accusations after another, nothing was believable. So all the ones that's coming against Sean Combs, and I'm not saying that he's innocent, but I'm sitting there telling you nothing is new under the sun. So now you got people coming all out of the woodwork accusing him. Oh, I want a piece of this. Yes, he did this. I was a part of this. Now, how the heck you can call this human trafficking, but yet you flew on a daggone plane to set there to go into somebody else's house? Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Now, if anything that's human trafficking, I thought that, they had like a little black van and they went and they kidnapped this person and brought them certain places. But these people on their free will took a flight out there. What you thought was going to happen? And now because, everybody getting a piece of the pie, getting a piece of it, I want a piece of it too. So right here. So if you want to know exactly how the story is going to end, read Matthew 26. Okay. So right there, watch this video. Make sure you share this video, hit like, comment, and share these videos because I promise you're not going to get this no other place. Okay. No other place, even y'all so-called places you assemble yourself, you're not going to get this right here. Okay. This right here is coming right here from what I call the Holy of Holiness, unapologetic real talk. Okay. So right here, the high priest, they conspired. They was cooking up charges against the Messiah in order to sentence him to death. But even though many stepped up, making up false accusations one after another, nothing was believable. So they ain't believe none of them. They didn't believe none of this because they know they was all lying. But the world of his own. It wasn't true. You know good and well, you sat there and you wanted to go and show your tail. You wanted to sit there, didn't care what would happen to you, had these people doing all this detestable stuff to you, long as you get paid. Because know in the world that if I know a person sat there and stomp me, I'm going to sit there and stay in there. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear, this, whatever you guys talking about. Some people can't get out of it. No, it's the love of money. Call it what it is. It's the love of money. It's the love of money. Because if it wasn't the love of money, ain't no way in the world I would have took a dime. I don't care if I would did just like the DA said. Okay, you dropping $50 million. I don't want that. So if someone said that and did what we saw was done to the victim and you still took the money, come on, guys, make it make sense. Like I said, honey, in here is real, unapologetic, uncut. So let's go ahead and continue some more. So finally, two men came forward with this. He said, I can tear down this temple of God, and after that, they rebuild it. So right there, two men came in. They say, he said, I can tear down this temple of God, and after 3 days, rebuild it. So now, two men came up and said, this man was boasting, about his money, what all he was going to do, how he was going to pour back into his black community. No, this money was not for you to pour it back. When we gave you this blood money, this money was not to be poured back into your community. This money was for you to pour back into the power that be, pour back into the system. No, not he done became an uppity Negro now. So this man, two men came up and say, he said that I can tear down. He was boasting. They don't like when you boast. They don't like when you uppity. And the same ones was laughing and smiling in your face, they was gritting their teeth. They was gritting their teeth. He said, I can tear down this temple of God, and after 3 days, I can build it up because I'm P. Diddy. I can make it happen. Then the chief priests, the ones, the judge, the jury, all them right here, they stood up and said, what do you have to say to this accusation? What the heck you talking about? He can tear it down and build it back up. Who the heck he think he is? I'm breaking it down to you guys like even a child can understand. So the Messiah just kept silent. See, sometimes you got to stay silent. And that's what P. Diddy should have done. P. Diddy wanted to come out and prove himself, oh, that's not me. Like I said, they say, sometimes, hey, let them sit there and figure it out themselves. I would have let them figure it out themselves. Oh no, that was you, the one that was pulling this victim across the doggone hall. No, that wasn't me. That was AI. You see, you weren't saved anyway. You lied on everything else. Why you couldn't lie on that? You see? But see, these people knows exactly how to make you gurgitate it out. But see, the true Messiah said and say, you're gonna figure it out yourself. You're gonna figure it out yourself. So right there, the Messiah just kept silent. See, sometimes, hey, you got to move in silence. Okay? Then the feds said, I command you by the authority of the living God. See, they want to call God. Many want to sit there and say, God, this, God, that. But they don't know God. They don't know God. They put themselves in a seat. So he said, I command you by the living God to say, if you are the Messiah, the Son of God. Then Jesus was cut. Jesus said, you yourself said it. Jesus said, I didn't say I was the Messiah. You said it. See, I like to break it down where even the child can understand. This is what I call ghetto, okay? So Jesus said then say, hey, that's why we know Jesus wasn't, he was a brother, like I said, we are one. We are one, guys. Don't let these people single us out. When I hurt, you hurt. I got a hangnail, that hangnail hurting, you should hurt too. Because them people don't care about you. I promise you. If something would happen to their people like a Hugh Hefner, they ain't gonna sit there and worry about you. And that was the biggest pimp. That was the on earth. Hugh Hefner was the biggest pimp. And we're gonna talk about that. Okay. So right there, Jesus said there and say, I didn't say anything. You the one said it. And that's not at all. Soon you all will see for yourself. Then the Son of Man seated at the right hand of the mighty one arrived on the. So let me go ahead and read this. And right there it says. So right there, the judges or whatever, they lost their temper, ripping off their robes. They mad, yelling, blasphemer. You a blasphemer. You a uppity Negro. Why do we need witness to accuse him? We don't need no witness. Get rid of the witness. We ain't worrying about this victim. Even though we see her, but dragged across a hall, we don't need them. We got him already. We got him. Go and crucify him. Go and crucify him. You blasphemer. You thought that you was an uppity Negro. You thought that you could sit there and take your money and do whatever you want. You wanted to sit there and forget, who got you there. So why do we need witness? We don't need no witness anymore. Accuse him. Go ahead and arrest him. Arrest him. You all heard him. He blasphemed. Are you going to stand here, such a blasphemer in our face, you Negro? You know who you are. You don't talk to us like that. They all said, crucify him. Crucify him. That sealed the death right there. They all came together and said, crucify him. Then they start spitting in his face and knocking him around. Oh my God. I saw that today. It was at one of his places spraying paint, spray paint all over, stuff that P did it, I don't know if it was his house or something. I had pulled that article up, but I don't feel like pulling it up right now. I mean, spray painting them and stepping all on, stuff that he have done and wants to cancel everything. Cancel him. So right there, they spit all in his face, and any ones that sitting there denying him, oh, I don't know you. You spitting in his face too, knocking him down. They jeered and they slapped him, prophesying he wants to be the Messiah. Who hit you that time? That's what they say. Who hit you that time? So right there, let me see where I'm at. I'm almost done. I promise you. So deny now his disciples, the ones that broke bread, the ones that slept in the house with him, the ones that partied with him, the ones that he helped put food on his table. See, like I say, it's different levels. Now you've seen the breaking down. You've seen the real sheep, the real snakes in the grass. Like I say, when the heat is on, they're going to scatter. So now we finna see the people that was around him, how they gonna act. Let's go ahead and read this right here. All this time, Peter was sitting out in the courtyard. Peter, all the stuff that was going on to the Messiah, Peter was outside in the courtyard. One servant girl came up to him and said, "You were with the Messiah, the Galilee." So Peter was sitting around the fire with the world, with hanging it, hanging out like the world, wanted to be hip and cool, knowing that he was set apart. But when fear came, then we start forgetting who we were. That's why a lot of people they backslide. People sitting there, they go so far, but when the heat is on, they start backsliding. So Peter wanted to hang out back with the world. He wanted to hang out with the world, start cursing. And that's how if I start cursing, you probably sit there and say, "Oh, you sound funny because I don't curse." Okay. So right there, Peter, this girl came up to Peter, say, "Peter, I remember you. You was with Jesus." Peter said, let me see what Peter said. Peter said, in front of everybody, he denied him. "I don't know what you talking about. What you talking about? I've been with the Messiah. I've been with P. Diddy. No, I never been with P. Diddy. Oh, yeah, I see some of your pictures. I was at one of them white parties too. I was at them freak parties too. I know you was with him." No, no, no. Peter said, "No, I ain't never was at them freak parties. Not me. Girl. You talking about somebody. Oh, yeah, we got down together, Peter. We got down together, Peter." So right there, in front of everybody, he denied him. So then he moved over towards the gate. So Peter moved from this woman. She about to expose me, because I was at one of them freak parties. And I remember I was with her, but there was several other women I was with too. We was having a good time. But they're grown adults. They're grown adults. And they flew their tails there. So right there, as he moved over towards the gate, someone else said, so somebody else was at that freak party, okay? So somebody else said, and he moved over toward the other side. Someone else said to the people there, "This man was with the Messiah. This man was with the Messiah. This man was with him. I remember him." But they all was there. For you to know I was there, you had to be there too, okay? So again, so remember, Jesus was telling Peter, you're gonna deny me 3 times. But Peter said, "Oh no, not me." Jesus said, "When the cock crow, you're gonna be denying me." Okay. So right there, again. So remember, he did it twice. He did it with the woman. He denied him. Then he did it with he moved over and some people he denied him. So again, he denied him it. Salting his denying with an oath. So he starts swearing. So when it says salting his denial with an oath, yours might say something different, but I'm reading out a message Bible. So right there, he started cursing. "I swear I never laid eyes on P. Diddy. I never was at those freak parties. I never was at these freak parties. They lying on me." You see how people, when the heat is on, our people is not loyal at all. Our people are not loyal at all. So right there, this Peter start cursing. The anointed man that walked with the Messiah, that ate with the Messiah, start cursing, acting like the world. Start talking like the world. So he said, "I never laid eyes on him." Then shortly after that, some bystander. So God gonna always have a messenger. Thank you for the messengers to sit there and confirm it. So right there, a bystander was sitting there. Look, this man need to stop. Peter need to stop that. Peter was one of the man disciples. Peter was right there. He was one of the bodyguards. He the ones was right there. So the bystanders approached Peter. Now, I know you, Peter. You ain't gonna deny me. Now you better stop your lying and you better stop your cursing. Okay. You better stop your lying and you better stop your cursing. You got to be one of them because your accent give you away. So right there, one of the bystanders say, "No, Peter, you don't talk like the world. The way you talk. I know that you are the anointed one. I know you've been walking with the Messiah. You know, you don't talk like the world, Peter. So right there, he gave himself up. You're gonna know them by the fruit that they bear. Like I say, people sometimes you might sit there and say, "Well, how would I know how to separate the sheep from the goats?" Because a sheep would not follow the voice of a stranger. A sheep would not follow a voice of a stranger. You're going to know the difference. So right there, he said, your accent, the way you talk, the way you move, you're not one of us. Let me come around you right now and say, oh, yo, man, and oh, MF, man, and start partying and gambling. I'll give myself up because, I'm just front. It's like a Kamala Harrison. You see, yeah, it's like a Kamala Harrison. They already know Kamala Harrison is not us. She don't act like us. We don't, talking about her collard greens. Oh my God. Oh my God. Guys, look, if you don't tell me God is not using me, then like I said, you go find somewhere else. Go to Tisha Teller, the psychic, the one that reading tarot cards, the ones that got to go and purchase tarot cards to tell you about your future, the ones that you give 100 and 200,000 viewers to and only give me no more than 9. Go to them type of people because in here we meet because we know at the end we're going to still stand with or without this because we know who we are in Christ. So right there, then he got really nervous and he swore, I don't know this man. So he done denied him again. Came out and said, I don't know this man. It's going to be many people that's going to come out and say, I don't know this man. And he already told them. He sat there and said, then a rooster crowed. Peter remembered when Jesus had said, before the rooster crows, you will deny me 3 times. He went out and he cried, and he cried because that prophecy had came to pass. Wow. I'm done, guys. This could get no clearer. And oh my God, 2 hours. 2 hours. 2 hours. Wow. I've been on here for 2 hours. And I was not tired because when the Spirit of the Lord go before me, you don't even realize the time. I see my girls in the house. Speak with your girl, Marcella. She says, hey, everyone, miss you all. Yes, God is a healer. Thank you, Lord. Yes, and we also praying for Marcella. I think she went through surgery. She's going through surgery. Make sure that she has a speedy recovery. But this right here, anything that you want to know what's going on right there, it's already predestined. It's finished. It's done. What you see right now is them going through the process. So if you know how the story is going to end, why are you dipping and dabbing in things of this world? Why are you playing with fire? Why are you playing Russian roulette with your life? Why are you testing God when you already know exactly how the story is going to end? Peter wanted to go out there and mingle with the world because he didn't want it to be identified with the Messiah. But there was someone say, you don't act like us. You don't talk like us. So why are you a part of us? That reminds me just like it is when it came to Kamala Harrison. Like I said, you don't have to pretend to be one of us because like I said, some people they are loyal to their party or some people, they just going to vote because they like you. But you don't have to shift shape. You don't have to shift shape. Be yourself. Don't try to fit in when God already has set you apart. I don't try to fit in. It is what it is. Whether you accept me or not, I'm not changing for no one. Well, how you're going to get paid? How? Like I say, my father owned the cattle on top of the hills. I don't have to sell my soul for almighty dollars. I don't have to do that because I know the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. Like I say, nothing is new under the sun, guys. But you have to sit there and choose this day who you're going to serve because you're not going to come out of this. You're not going to come out of this. So all I can say right now is just to choose this day who you're going to serve. Are you going to continue playing on the devil's playground? And one thing that I know when it comes to the devil does not play fair, guys. The devil does not play fair. Once you sit there and you get caught up in that, he's not gonna let you go. He's not gonna let you go. He's gonna make sure that he financially, spiritually, and physically bankrupt you until you sit there and say, no, I'm gonna play your games because I know my life does not belongs to me anyway. My life belongs to the most high God. God give it and God take it away. So what I'm doing right now, I am about to break a generational curse. I'm going to sit there and what I have left, I will not pour it into this system. I'm going to sit there and I'm going to leave legacies for my children's children. Do whatever you want to do with it, children, but make sure you be a good steward. Don't sit there and go out there and squander with the pigs and give it to people that sit there and say they're going to go with you, but all the while they're only there to sit there and suck you up dry. Be good stewards and pour it back into your community. Don't you think that we have suffered enough? Don't you think that we have poured too much money when it comes to the system? I promise you, if we stop pouring into the system, Satan kingdom will fall because without you, it won't be them. We are the lifeline to everything that exists. But if we start sitting there, put our money together, I promise you, we will be a force to be reckoned with. And they know that. They know that their time is almost up. That's why they use a P. Diddy to sit there and distract us. Couldn't happen no better time than this. No better time than this to sit there and throw that card out, P. Diddy, because they know when they came after, which I think that was fake as well, when they came after the assassination of Trump, oh, that didn't move them. They still start talking about politics. They still start talking about, oh, we need our reparation. They still start digging into Kamala Harrison background. We need to shut them up. Like I say, this is all about politics, keeping you to sleep. The Messiah came 3 times and they still was asleep. They still couldn't keep their eyes open because they were so fixated on the things of this world. So what we need to do, they love to be entertained. And I'm gonna close it with this. They love gossiping. They look at these stars as heroes. So what we have to do, we need to go ahead and give them P. Diddy. Give them P. Diddy. Crucify him. Let him be the sacrificial lamb. And I promise you, you're going to see videos after videos after videos after videos after videos of our own people. When it comes to someone like this, crickets, crickets, crickets. I have purchased 3 books, which I thought I was going to pay for it, but the Most High God said there and said, no, this got to come out. I was willing to pay for these books. When I went to hit purchase, it said it's paid in full because the story got to get out. Hugh Hefner was one of the biggest pimps in America, where this man even had, and I'm going to say allegedly, a 6-year-old in his house. This man even had women, allegedly. He would sit and watch them have sex with dogs, bestiality. He was into bestiality. Crickets, crickets, crickets. We had celebrities would fly from all over the world to have sex with these women, politicians, high profile people. He had cameras everywhere and he recorded everything. He had a log of everything that he did. But the minute when they said that P. Diddy recorded everything, arrest him, arrest him, arrest him. This man even had a young girl by the name of Brooke Shields at the age of 12 years old doing a centerfold in the nude. Crickets, crickets, crickets. Who would tell him, Lord? Lord, send me. I will go. And that's real talk.